Hello, we're reaching you live from iBrand Newsroom in Lagos. Coming up, federal government to resuscitate special terrorism courts for suspected terrorists. US set to lift travel Ebola-related restrictions on Guinea. Japan declares state of emergency in 3 prefectures hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. And Bitcoin loses more than 10% of its value in 24 hours. Hello again, and thanks very much for joining us on News Now. And here are some stories making headlines this hour. I'm Michael Nath. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Malam Abubakar, has hinted that the federal government will resuscitate special terrorism courts for sole purpose of trial of suspected terrorists in the country. Malami said the measure is part of the bold step of the presidency to tame the activities of terrorists that have been waging endless war against the nation. In a solemn message to Nigerians, Malami said the federal government remained committed to ending insecurity in the country. He said in addition to the prosecution of 400 identified suspected Boko Haram financiers, the government has taken more measures to counter the twin trouble of insurgency and insecurity in the country. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has thwarted calls for restructuring by southern governors. He said elected leaders ought not to champion such calls, but rather concentrate on working hard to first restructure their states before asking the federal government to do so. Lawan said this in an interview with State House correspondents in Abuja on Thursday after observing the Eid al-Fitr prayers at the forecourt of the presidential villa. As Muslims, Nigeria join the world in this year's celebration of Eid al-Fitr, they are urged to use most of the important teachings in the month of Ramadan to promote peace and unity in the country. Speaking at this year's Eid al-Fitr prayer ground, the chief imam of Sultan Bello Center Mosque, Kaduna, Suleiman Muhammad Adams, charged Muslim faithful to emulate the teachings of Prophet Muhammad to promote peace and unity in the country. He charged citizens to always support and assist the poor and needy, saying through such gesture we can win the battle against insecurity.
To all the people of Nigeria, both Muslims and non-Muslims, is that we should fear Allah. We have no deity worthy of being worshipped except Allah, and what we are passing through in terms of security problem in Nigeria could only be redeemed when we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody should check himself and stop doing what Allah does not approve for us, what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has not prescribed for us. This is the basic foundation for getting peace to return and security to return to our nation.
The sermon is about the need for peace, tranquility, and unity in the country, and that the government should address the insecurity problem which is bedeviling the nation. From fasting Ramadan itself, because it's like a national cause, telling people to feel what the poor feel, and also to have solidarity, help the poor, assist each other, which is also the sermon is all about.
The Deputy Governor of Taraba State, Haruna Manu, has urged Nigerians to pray for the unity of the country. He insisted that the elites and other stakeholders should not allow the present security challenges to cause disintegration in the country. Speaking with newsmen after observing Eid al-Fitr at the State University Mosque, he called on Nigerians to support security agencies and the government in fighting banditry and other security threats.
To continue to pray for our country, because we are in a special situation. We are witnessing things that we have not witnessed previously in this country. However, we in Taraba we have to continue to thank God, because I do know that the security situation in this country, we in Taraba, our situation is better than some other states. If the bad things happen, you want to go to another country, you know, you are a stranger there. So there is no any other country than our country. There is no any better country than your country. So let us all continue to pray for the country. It's not just for the leaders, but we all need this country. We all need this country, so we have to continue to be praying for this country. Nigeria will triumph again, inshallah, by the special grace of God.
Zamfara State Police Command has arrested 5 notorious suspects involved in banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and illegal possession of firearms. The suspects were said to have been terrorizing various communities in Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina states in the northwest, and Niger State in the north-central part of the country. Items recovered from the suspects include 4 AK-49 rifles, 9 magazines, 960 live ammunition, and assorted charms. They were paraded by the police public relations officer in Zamfara, Shehu Mohammed, on Friday at the police headquarters in Gusau, the state capital. He explained that the arrests of the suspects was a result of the collaboration between the police and the state leadership of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MAGBAN. Mohammed said the command would continue to work with any group or persons willing to work for the peace of Zamfara and the northwest region as a whole. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has declared Gimba Yau Kumo, son-in-law to the President Muhammadu Buhari and former Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank, Nigeria, wanted for alleged 65 million naira fraud. The commission, in notice published on its website, said Kumo was wanted alongside Tari Rufus and Bola Ogunshola over alleged misappropriation and dispersion of National Housing Fund. The notice was signed by the ICPC spokesperson, Zuka Ogugwa. Kumo's tenure at FMBN was characterized by allegations of corruption. In April, the Senate Committee on Public Accounts summoned Kumo to explain the alleged irregular award of 3 billion naira contracts when he was still at the bank. Now, the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Obolafo, Udeni local government area of Enugu State, has been razed down. The police confirmed the fire incident in a statement by the Enugu police spokesman, Daniel Ndukwe. Preliminary investigation suggests that the fire, which was eventually put out before it could spread to other offices around the building through the combined efforts of the State Fire Service, the police, and law-abiding citizens, may have been caused by power surge due to sudden power supply to the building. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Aliyu, has ordered the cordoning off of the scene and launch of a thorough investigation to further ascertain the actual cause of the fire outbreak and damage incurred. Chairman of the Federal Civil Service Pensioners Branch, Eguabo Frederick, says retirees of the Federal Civil Service have not and do not intend to exit the Nigeria Union of Pensioners, the umbrella body for pensioners in the country. Frederick alleged that the union, which recently dissolved EXCO members, had published a statement claiming that retirees of the Federal Civil Service have opted out of the NUP following crisis between the two unions. He says that the past EXCO members were acting on selfish interests, ignoring the plight and agony of pensioners.
Pensioners, as I've said earlier, are not opting out. We remain as one big family with NUP. He cannot speak for the entire federal pensioners. He has no right. 7 people can never make up federal pensioners. If you are in an office, you are there to represent common pensioners who could not come out to fight for their rights. What have they done? Ask them to show you one good thing they have done. But rather, they put up many of the pensioners, they fight pensioners, they are local health pensioners, Whom are they representing?
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has said the possibility of shifting the date for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) is very high. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede explained that this was because of the inability of at least 600,000 candidates who have indicated interest to participate to register for the examination scheduled to hold between June 5 and 19. Speaking at a virtual meeting with 2021 UTME committee members on Friday, it disclosed that 1.1 million candidates have so far registered for the 2021 UTME, and the board anticipated approximately 1.9 million registrations at the end of the exercise. The JAMB boss said while 50% of the candidates have already registered without problem, there was a need to carry everyone along. Mr. Lukman Hassan, through his solicitor, Waila Esquire, has petitioned the Assistant Inspector General of Police over the unlawful detention of his brother, Chikogu Isaac, by the officers and men of Anti-Kidnapping Section of Delta State Criminal Investigation Department. This was contained in a petition titled Petition of Illegal Detention, Abuse of Official Power, and Attempt to Frame Up our client by the officers and men of Anti-Kidnapping Section of Delta State, CID, Asaba, a call for your intervention. Hassan added that the family of the detained Chikogu has been having sleepless nights over the unlawful detention of their son.
I was called from Delta State that my younger brother was arrested. I was asking him, Oga, what is the situation, please? I am here to cooperate with you people. I am not here to quarrel or to fight with you people. Please, can I see him? He said I should forget about that matter, that issue has been forgotten. It's a bad case. I should not say that again. I said, so I cannot see him in the cell. I asked a lawyer to come. No way, myself, I'm here. No way.
Nigerians are multi-talented, and this cuts across all facets, including the entertainment industry. Femi Johnson, our director, filmmaker, comments on some of the challenges he faces while trying to help young talents in the country.
It's always been, you cannot help everybody, and it burns me when I cannot help like 100 people at the same time. I can't put 100 talent on my film, for instance. I can't put 100 talent on my series. And you get to, people DM you, people ask you, I want to work with you, I want to be on your next project, but I can't put everybody on my next project because I'm probably doing like a few, So the challenge is that you don't have the platform, I don't have the platform to cater for everybody's need. That is the only challenge that I see. That's why I created Dolly Talent, for instance, where, okay, so if I cannot take up everybody, let me create a platform where talent can actually be on, and other people that are doing projects can come on that platform and pick. So it makes it easy, because I was talking to someone and she said, if only there is a platform where I can just be and people can find me and they can engage me. I'm frustrated, an actor. So I told her that don't worry, a platform is coming that will take care of all of that. So for me, the challenge is that I cannot cater for everyone. I cannot put everybody on my project. That is only the challenge. If I am as big as MultiChoice, for instance, I will not be engaging all these big known faces. No, I will just focus on creating future for the next generation by projects that only new faces will be on.
That was an excerpt from our breakfast show, iBrand Daybreak. Well, you can watch the full version of that on our YouTube channel. You're watching News Now here on iBrand News item here in Lagos. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we have news from Africa. All right, we're now bringing you African news. The Biden administration said on Thursday it was lifting Ebola-related travel restrictions for U.S. visitors who have recently been in Guinea effective Friday. In March, the Department of Homeland Security ordered that travelers who had been in Guinea and Democratic Republic of Congo within the past 21 days had to fly into one of the 6 U.S. airports: New York, JFK, Chicago, Atlanta, Washington, Dulles, New York, New Jersey, or Los Angeles. The restriction on travel from DRC was lifted on May the 3rd. The DHS said on Thursday there had been no new Ebola cases reported in Guinea since April. Foreign news now. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Thursday that the United States would not leave Australia alone in the face of economic coercion from China. China has imposed a series of trade sanctions on Australian exports ranging from wine to coal as the two countries' tensions have worsened in recent years. Successive Australian trade ministers have been unable to secure a phone call with Chinese counterparts since diplomatic tensions worsened in 2020. And last week, Beijing suspended all activities under a bilateral economic dialogue with Australia. Japan is declaring a state of emergency. 3 more prefectures hit by COVID-19 pandemic is said on Friday in a surprise move that reflects growing concern about the spread of the coronavirus. The latest declaration comes as Japan grapples with a surge of a more infectious virus strain just 10 weeks before the Tokyo Olympics are due to start on July the 23rd. The latest measures bring 19 of Japan's 47 prefectures home to about 70% of the population, under curbs such as an 8 p.m. closing deadline for eateries and a ban on alcohol at most bars and restaurants. Up next is Sport with Jidechi.
Welcome to the Sports Updates. I am Jidechi Chidi. Mixed martial arts superstar Conor McGregor has edged out Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi to top Forbes' list of the world's highest paid athletes. During the 12-month period up to May the 1st this year, the Irishman is said to have earned a whopping $180 million, although $150 million of that came from the sale of a majority stake in his whiskey brand. Barcelona and Argentina forward Messi was second on the list and set a record as the highest earning soccer player after bringing home $130 million, while Portugal and Juventus forward Ronaldo earned $120 million to see third among the 10 highest paid athletes. NFL quarterback Dak Prescott earned $107.5 million of that, and Cowboys and four-time NBA champion LeBron James earns $96.5 million, and that makes the top 5 list. Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton was only the Brit to make the top 10 list, coming in 8th, while no female sports stars made the cut. And in other stories, a petition to cancel the Tokyo Olympics with more than 351,000 signatures was submitted to the city's governor on Friday, with its organizer urging officials to patronize life. The online petition, titled "Cancel the Tokyo Olympics to Protect Our Lives," was launched earlier this month by Kenji Utsunomiya, a lawyer and former candidate for Tokyo governor. It has gathered signatures faster than any previous petition on Change.org platform in Japan, which Utsunomiya said reflects public opinion on the issue. Polls consistently show a majority of Japanese oppose holding the games this year, favoring either a further delay or cancellation due to the coronavirus pandemic. It was submitted as Japan battles the 4th wave of the virus infections, with Tokyo and 5 other prefectures under a state of emergency. And that's all for now on the Sports Updates.
And now to the rest of the news. Business news now. Bitcoin has lost more than 10% of its value in 24 hours. A total of 120,776,981 and 476 was wiped away when investors' confidence in the digital currency tanked after Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, revealed that Tesla was going to halt accepting Bitcoin as payment for its cars. A statement on the CEO's tweet said, quote, Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about the rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at great cost to the environment. Tesla will not be selling any Bitcoin, and we intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transactions and transitions to more sustainable energy, he said. End of quote. Now, the Nigerian Labour Congress on Thursday insisted that petrol subsidy must not be removed and that it would not shift grounds on this position until Nigeria's refineries were fixed. NLC's position came as a support to the earlier declaration of Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, where NUPENG kicked against the advice of the Presidential Economic Advisory Committee on subsidy removal. The General Secretary, NUPENG, Olawale Afolabi, had exclusively told our correspondent recently that it was going to be highly suicidal to remove petrol subsidy now, and that the advice by the peace and the government should remove subsidy was wrong. Within the current context of hardship in the country, it is suicidal to remove subsidy now. It is highly suicidal within the current situation, Afolabi had stated. And that's news now from iBrandTV. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nath.